Welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Mark. Today we're digging into the cannabis sector, some big operational headlines, policy shifts, and a few legal wrinkles that could tug investors in different directions. With me is Josh, who walks the market history beat and always helps make sense of the noise. Remember, if you have questions as we go, you can ask us at stockalpha.ai.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Glad to be here.
Quick note before we start. U.S. stock markets were closed on Saturday, so these headlines are heading into the long weekend and should be priced in when markets reopen on Monday, June 8th. Okay, first up, automation in cultivation. You saw the piece about the spider machine?
Yeah, so the spider is reportedly scanning and tending an 86,000 square foot grow around the clock, and the facility is seeing about a 20% lift in yields. That's the headline number. And it gets people thinking about cost per unit and margins. I mean, when you look at the data, a 20% yield improvement can materially compress unit costs if the capital and running costs of automation don't swamp the savings. So tech-forward growers that scale this efficiently could see margin divergence versus manual, labor-heavy operators.
Right.
The key question becomes, which operators can roll out automation CapEx efficiently? It's not just the machine, it's integration, quality control, and how quickly they can deploy it across acres.
Let's jump to policy. Federal rescheduling moved cannabis down to Schedule 3, and Americans for Safe Access put out patient guidance. How does that change the landscape?
Rescheduling opens new legal pathways. Practically, it can ease banking friction, make research cleaner, and create routes for insurance conversations. But, and this is big, program design and court fights will influence how fast those benefits land. For instance, the Medicare hemp coverage program that would allow up to $500 a year in benefits is facing renewed legal challenges. That keeps a lot of uncertainty in the near term.
So we're not at a snap-your-fingers insurance rollout yet.
Exactly. The rescheduling is an enabler, not an instant fix. Court rulings and administrative rules will determine timing and scope.
Shifting stateside, Virginia and Michigan are worth watching. Michigan passed a wholesale tax that's supposed to bring in revenue, but it looks like the receipts are falling short.
Yeah, that's a good point. Michigan's 24% wholesale tax was projected to raise about $420 million a year, and the early receipts are much lower. That has two effects. It pressures state budget assumptions, and it can change how lawmakers think about tax policy going forward. For producers and retailers, high wholesale taxes can squeeze margins and blunt retail demand.
Interesting.
And in Virginia, lawmakers and the governor are still hashing out budget language that could authorize recreational sales. If that passes, it would be a near-term demand catalyst regionally, so keep an eye on budget negotiations.
There was also a cultural signal. The WNBA removed marijuana from its banned substances list. That feels like a small thing, with big marketing implications.
It does. Removing marijuana from the ban list and adding psychedelics to the prohibited list shows shifting attitudes. For brands, it opens sponsorship and partnership conversations that were once off limits. Those deals can boost consumer awareness and, potentially, revenues for brand-focused companies.
So putting it together, operational upside, policy openings, and legal and fiscal headwinds. If I'm monitoring this over the weekend, what should be on my watch list before markets reopen Monday?
Track three things closely. Court filings on the Medicare hemp program. Any language coming out of Virginia's budget talks about recreational sales. And public rollout plans for automation like the spider. Who is actually scaling it and how they're funding that scale. Also watch sentiment flows into major sector names and the big cannabis ETF because those tend to reflect weekend headlines.
Quick reactions? Right.
Cool.
All right, we're almost out of time. Josh, wrap it up for our listeners. What are the 2 or 3 things to take away?
Sure. 1. Automation like the spider could drive a real cost gap between tech-forward and legacy growers if rollouts are capital efficient. 2. Federal rescheduling opens doors, but legal challenges, like the suit over the Medicare hemp coverage, make timing and scope uncertain. 3. State tax and budget realities matter. High wholesale taxes that underperform projections can become a drag on demand and change policymaker behavior.
Great. And a quick reminder, this conversation is informational only. Analysts note you should do your own due diligence. We are not recommending buying, selling, or holding any security.
Yep, monitor filings and budget calendars, and watch which operators can scale automation without destroying margins.
Key takeaways.